Hey guys, what's up? This is Bharat. You're watching iGyan, and today we have something that you've been hyping about for a while now. So we've got the OnePlus Nord here, and this is probably not what the final retail packaging is going to be because this appears to be somewhat if a reviewer's box. So let's quickly unbox it. I'm digging the new packaging style. Usually they send like massive boxes for us to check out, but this one is a more compact, smaller form factor. Also in compliance with the fact that this is now a budget device or something that is going to be more affordable. So let's quickly slide this off over here. And let's take a look at the packaging itself. It's quite an interesting thing. And one thing that I did want to show you guys is this part here. So it says a smartphone with a smooth experience, powerful cameras, and exceptional quality. You would expect from us pretty much everything you could ask for, all within a couple of boxes, or 4 actually with a bigger box, so 5 boxes. So what I'm guessing is that this is the 5th box, and there are 4 additional boxes inside, sort of showing off what all is in this new series of phones. So OnePlus Nord mentioned over here, nice embossed text on the packaging. Let's lift this, and like I expected, 3 boxes, and the 4th one is over here. So let's check out the first one. This is going to be the box of the phone itself. I'm sure a lot of you guys have already seen this, and as always, pricing has been cut out on the back, but we leave pricing and availability and final details in the description below. So if you guys are interested in checking that out, you can go and do that. I'm going to place this to the side. Let's go and take a look at what else is in there. So right off the bat, I can see a really nice silicone case. It's a blue silicone case, and I think this one's going to be a favorite of mine. This is more like the teal. They call it the Nord blue, but this is more a teal color, and this is their Nord color. So really nice case over there. And then we have a sandstone black, which is a pretty commonplace for OnePlus. And then we have a clear TPU case, or a clear hard plastic case it appears, but we'll check those out in just a second. Okay, so we've got the phone and the 3 cases. I think I'll open the cases first. So let's quickly slice open the packaging over here and over here. And let's quickly slide this out. And that comes out. So that's our first case, a really nice case. I thought it was going to be a soft silicone case, but it appears to be a hard case, and it's not silicone at all. It's actually a sandstone finish, this one. So it does say OnePlus Nord sandstone bumper case and not a silicone case. So the texture and the appearance is actually like a silicone case, something that you would see from Apple. But this one, or the red OnePlus case that we saw, I think, last year. But this one has got a sandstone finish. Actually, a really nice texture on this. Let's open the other ones. So this one is more like a TPU case. It's got soft edges and a hard plastic back. So clear case with, I think, silicone edges. So this one also looks nice. Place that here. And finally, the flagship OnePlus case, the most common OnePlus accessory with any new device, is the sandstone black. So these are the 3 cases. Now let's take a look at the phone itself. I know a lot of you guys are excited. I'm actually quite looking forward to testing this phone. So much hype, and really interested in seeing if this is going to be worth it. So packaging wise, credit where credit is due. Really nice packaging. All of this is recycled paper. So really nice packaging with that. We do have this reflective sort of Nord branding over here, and also OnePlus branding on the sides. Really cool packaging. Let's quickly lift it off. So that's the phone, the first thing inside the box. It's in the teal color, absolutely brilliant color. We'll place it to the side for the time being. Let's go further in. And another triangle. So this has been their theme throughout the teasing process. So I'm guessing because the compass has a triangle that points north, this one is also doing the similar thing. So we've got some documentation. It's a welcome letter. It is from the Nord team, and just basic stuff. Dear friend, today when a new phone hits the market, we often ask what are the specs. But then we would be asking the wrong question. Because if the experience is smooth, if the camera is powerful, and if the quality is exceptional, everything works the way we expect, do the specs really matter? So they're trying to sort of bring in the Apple philosophy where in the future they don't really want to focus on specifications but more on the experience, which may not be a bad thing, but for Android I think specifications are the market space, and that is something that people will get used to. So another case, but this one is a soft TPU case, and there is a matte finish over here. Again, the compass sort of arrow and pointing upwards, so I'm guessing just to depict north on the case here. I'm going to place it to the side, and then I'm assuming more documentation in here, possibly a SIM ejector tool. Some new OnePlus stickers with the Nord branding in them as well, so really cool stickers here for those who would like that. A quick start guide, some basic information. The red cable club, something we saw with the OnePlus 8 as well. And then SAR information, this is important, and now they're sort of sending it in a specific page. So based on what country, we have SAR values over here, so that's pretty cool. And the traditional OnePlus SIM ejector tool is here as well. Now, the other things that you would normally expect include this red charging cable, standard dash charging cable. So 30-watt charging is included with the Warp charger, and side the packaging. So dash has now become Warp. So this is now a Warp charging cable, not a dash charging cable. And this is no longer a dash charger. This is a Warp charger. So this is a 30T Warp charger. Same charging that you see in their more expensive devices is now going to be available on their cheaper phones. So that's a good thing. I think that's a fantastic feature to give in a budget device as well. So that's everything from the box of the phone itself. Let's take a look at the device. Like I said, a really nice color. I'm already liking the form factor. I've not even removed it from the plastic. So let's quickly do that. I'll remove this sticker on the back as well. And that is it. That is the OnePlus Nord blue color. A really nice color, a really unique color. I don't think I've seen it on a phone in the past. So just the color itself and just the form factor itself looks nice. It's a narrow phone. It's not too wide. It's got rounded edges, so that looks nice and feels nice in the hand. No sharp corners on the phone anywhere. So that feels good. We know it's Gorilla Glass 5 on the front with a screen protector that's pre-installed. There's also Gorilla Glass on the back as well. I'm not sure which model, but I'm guessing it's also going to be Gorilla Glass 5. And you do have your typical sort of sound profile switch over here. And then you have the power button here. A secondary noise cancellation microphone is on the top. The volume buttons are on the left. The SIM tray, the microphone, the USB-C port, and the main speaker is on the bottom of the phone. So on the back, we have 3 cameras and a depth sensor. So the main camera is a 48 megapixel camera. It's got a 6-element lens. It's basically a 12 megapixel camera with a 4:1 pixel setup. So it's an IMX 586, and you do get an f1.7 aperture. The second camera is an ultra wide camera, which does have a 119-degree field of view, along with an f2.25 aperture. And the macro camera is a 2 megapixel macro camera with a 2.4 aperture, and the depth sensor is a 5 megapixel depth sensor, but it does absolutely nothing apart from measuring depth. So it's not used as a camera as per se. You also have dual LED lights over here. You flip it over to the front, we have dual cameras on the front. We've got a 32 megapixel main sensor. Now this is a Sony IMX616. It's an 8 megapixel with 4:1 pixel, so a quad pixel setup. And then you also have an ultra wide 8 megapixel camera with a 105-degree field of view. Both of these cameras at a f2.45 aperture. So what they're saying is you'll be ditching the selfie stick with this because it has a 105-degree field of view. I'm not sure if people will be ditching selfie sticks anytime soon because they're so used to it. Anyway, if you use a selfie stick, you're already being judged by a lot of people. So you should ditch the selfie stick anyway, even if you don't have an ultra-wide camera. So Warp charging we'll test when we are testing the phone fully. But for now, let's quickly turn on the phone and look at some of the setup process. And it does have Oxygen OS, the same Oxygen OS that you see on their main phone. So nothing different over here. Some basic terms and conditions. I don't want to be in the user experience program. I'll pop in my SIM in there later. And I'm going to quickly set up offline. Time zone is fine. Location is not allowed. Diagnostics are not allowed. So OnePlus co-creation user program, this sends you OnePlus service messaging, built-in app updates, push notifications, system stability program. I'm going to skip this for the time being. I'm going to look at it later. I'm going to set up the fingerprint sensor and set up my ultra secure password over here. And then just using the standard in-display fingerprint sensor. There's also OnePlus's face unlock on this. But I would recommend that you stick to the fingerprint sensor if you want any kind of real security on this device. Let's start the device. So really cool wallpaper as well. So a teal colored wallpaper. Boost up the brightness a little bit. There we go. So you can see that a really nice wallpaper. Again, Oxygen OS, pretty standard, something that we've seen. The phone really looks comfortable to hold and really nice in the hand. I'm going to pop on the sandstone teal OnePlus Nord cover on it. So you do get some lip protection on the front as well. And on the back, it looks really nice. Lots of protection. The camera bump goes flush. And cutouts for microphone, USB-C, and the main speaker. Cutouts for the profile switch, and then volume buttons and power button are sort of inbuilt. Fingerprint sensor seems fast. It looks like it's going to unlock the device quite quickly, so no complaints with that as well. Now, the display is an interesting one as well, so let me quickly show you why. So it does have a 90 Hz refresh rate, but you can dumb it down to 60 Hz if that's something that you want to save battery life. You can do that. The display is a fluid AMOLED display, so it's not an LCD, it's an AMOLED display. And that in itself is really nice. It's got really good viewing angles, in fact, as an AMOLED display. And even the brightness seems really up there. If I boost this up, you can see it's quite bright. But again, we'll be testing that in depth later on. So as far as the specs are concerned, the display is a 6.44-inch display with a 2400 by 1080 pixel resolution. This gives it a 408 pixels per inch. This has a 20:9 aspect ratio, hence the phone feels narrow and sort of slim to hold in the hand. There's also the fluid AMOLED display that I spoke about, the P3 color gamut, DCI P3 color gamut on the AMOLED display as well. And we have Gorilla Glass 5 on the front, as well as a screen protector pre-installed, something that I already spoke about. There are a few features that are already prevalent on the OnePlus Nord, of course, with Oxygen OS. You do get the ability to switch from an old phone. So you can use their app on both the devices and switch. You can also switch from an iPhone if that's something that you're looking for. And you also have Google Assistant now on the power button. So if you hold down the power button, you do get the Google Assistant, and it sort of already is listening to me. You also have the shelf on the left. Once you populate it, you'll get all your widgets and information on the left as well. So you can customize your wallpapers, your widgets, home settings, usual stuff. But then you also have the ability to switch from sort of gesture navigation to regular Android button navigation. So if you want the old style where you have the home button, back button, and multitasking button on the bottom, you can get that as well. If we talk about the specifications inside the device, we have a Qualcomm Snapdragon 765G chipset. Now this is a 5G enabled chipset, so this phone is 5G enabled, and you get an option of 8 or 12 gigabyte of RAM and 128 or 256 gigabyte of storage. This one, the one that we're testing out, is 12 plus 256. So lots of RAM and lots of storage right off the bat. I'm going to pop open the SIM tray and show you that as well. So you can see that there is a rubberized rim inside the tray that is to protect it from getting some water in there, but you can see that it does have dual SIM slots but no expansion, so you won't get a micro SD card expansion if that's what you want, but you can pop in 2 nano SIM cards in there to get dual SIM capabilities right off the bat. I'm going to keep it in this case. It feels really nice, lots of grip, and I really like the color on the case as well as on the phone. If you want a more glossy look, you definitely should go with this one, and then you can pick up either this case which will continue to give you that glossy look through the case as well as soft edges. But if you want slightly less visibility, and even if you want to hide most of your phone, you can do that by using the included case, which also has a convenient USB-C cover on it. So if you're looking at a really nice case, this one's pretty nice out of the box. No big branding like you saw on the OnePlus 8 devices. So that part I really like. Plus you have this matte texture in the center. So you get a mix of gloss as well as matte on the device. Now the battery is a 4115 milliamp hour battery, and like I said, Warp Charge 30T is included with the charger and the cable inside the case, so this will charge up quickly. I'm going to play a video and see what the speakers sound like, so I'm going to jump onto YouTube real quick. Hey guys, what's up? My name is Bharat, you're watching iGyan. I want to take you on this journey today because it's a really special day, and I also my cars for long distance for the first. So the speaker is really loud. It's actually really nice, but again, like it's a single speaker. It's not using stereo speakers, so audio is only coming out from the bottom. But it is really loud and clear, vivid as well. So I'm not complaining too much, but I would have liked to see dual speakers on this. Using the earphone as a secondary speaker would have been nice. So also the screen is really nice. I'm gonna go back to that video, and I'm gonna make it edge to edge just so that you guys can see. But we need to take some. I want 6 ounces of coffee. 6 cups of coffee. So pretty much no bezel on this phone. On the top as well, on the bottom, slight chin on the bottom, but pretty much no bezel. We've got a cutout on the side for the dual cameras, but the form factor is really nice. Again, so we have a lot to test with this phone with respect to how it performs, how it fares with respect to the cameras, and with respect to battery life and overall performance. Just to show you the camera user interface, I'm going to show you what that looks like. It's the same OnePlus camera that you see on other devices. So we do have time-lapse, panorama, slow motion. Slow motion also has a few settings. We'll quickly go into here and show you. So 4K video can be captured only at 30 frames per second on the main camera, but funnily enough, on the front camera, you can capture 4K video at 60 frames per second. So there is a weird combination of camera capabilities. So if you want 4K 60, you switch to the front camera, but if you want 4K 30, you switch to the main camera. So you do have 4K Cine, which is a wider form factor. So you can see 21:9 aspect ratio on the Cine video, but only 30 frames per second, whereas the front camera will do 16:9, I am assuming, 4K video at 60 frames per second. And also you have high efficiency video, so HEVC format, which will probably use H265 as the codec. You also have ultra-wide lens correction, so you won't get the sort of fisheye effect if you use an ultra-wide sensor on either the back or the front as well. You can go to the ultra-wide to capture video as well. I think that, which is why they've sort of kept it at 4K 30, because you can switch from the ultra-wide to the main. And this time around, it seems that the camera lens is not switching as it did on the other devices. So I think they fixed that with this phone. So we're not seeing a difference with respect to the frame on this. So again, something that we'll test out in depth. Let's quickly capture a photograph with the front-facing camera and see what that looks like. It says violent shaking may cause blurry images. Of course, we'll be testing all of this out in depth more. We also have Nightscape here, and Nightscape has been working really well on OnePlus phones for a while. So it does capture low light images and optimizes them to give you slightly better images as well. And of course you have a full pro mode, so you get a histogram here as well, and then you can go into settings, and I'm assuming switch from JPEG to RAW. So you can shoot in RAW, and then you have all of your settings for white balance ISO, shutter speed. You also have manual focus, and then you also have metering, but there's no pro video mode like you see on some of the other phones that are available in the market. So again, something that I would have liked to see. We do have super stable on, but that again says that it works with 4K 30, and that's what we are aiming for anyway, because that seems to be the maximum resolution. So super stable is on. We'll test that out and give you a video sample for that as well. So that's it from this video, guys. I'm going to be popping my SIM in this and using it as a primary for at least a few days, at least a week, and coming back with a full review. If you guys have questions, queries, something that you're particularly interested in for the phone, drop a comment, drop a question in the comment section below, and we'll come back with a full review. In that, we'll include the most frequently asked questions and try and answer some of those for you guys. That's it for this video. If you enjoyed the first look and unboxing of the OnePlus Nord, let us know in the comment section below and give this video a thumbs up. If you didn't, that's fine. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification icon so that you get notified each time iGyan uploads a video. This has been Bharat. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Now, from a software perspective, ठीक है?